of us working on this course cast our minds back to when we were in the same position as you.
Like a lot of young graduates, I was really excited and keen to get stuck into the next stage of my life and had a view that I should be a professional. But I was still really searching, I think. I was really at a crossroads in my life before I decided to become a teacher.
Well, I don't think I can really remember a moment where teaching was something I decided to do. It's just something that I'd always wanted to do. So I did a degree in sociology, and a PGCE just seemed like the obvious thing to progress onto.
The picture of me here in the 1990s, it's very embarrassing, but it's me posing on a windsurfer. The thought of working in an office is not for me, and being outside was what I was interested in. And I really started being interested in being an outdoor education instructor. And this day was a very cold day. As you can see, it was freezing. Pleased I followed that passion, but I soon realised that perhaps working in outdoor education, the prospects and pay weren't that great. So I sort of changed tack and moved towards teaching.
Well, I initially was starting to look at a law career. But I was studying English in a university in London, and it seemed like a very sensible thing for an English graduate to go and do. And so I had a bit of a lightning bolt moment, I suppose, when I realised that something I'd been enjoying doing, working with children and young people through a project I'd been involved at the university, and the love of my subject could all be done if I became a teacher.
What about you, Azumah?
I did my PGCE, initially thinking that I would complete it and start work in a secondary school. But I got to the end of it and I realised that being in a school environment just really wasn't for me. And so I got a substantial job in my local college. I absolutely loved being in a college environment, working with adult students who had returned to study, who had left school, who hadn't been particularly successful. And within a few years of being in a college, they'd managed to turn their lives around completely. And that really suited me.
Azumah, so interesting what you said about finding yourself in FE somewhat unexpectedly. I think if I could go back and speak to my younger self, I'd get them to really think about what age that I wanted to teach. Because I loved English so much, I automatically thought I'll be a secondary teacher, a high school teacher, because that was the subject that I loved teaching. But I actually came to find that I loved teaching lower school pupils. And I think I probably would have found myself a very happy primary school teacher. So one of the things that really appealed about teaching is that it allowed me to combine what I could see was a lot of intellectual rigour with the practicalities of working in a hands-on way with people in a classroom. So I think that was really appealing to me.
For me, it was I was teaching a lot of water sports, and I could see you can see people improve in front of you. Within half an hour they're doing something different, and the satisfaction of seeing those improvements, that was the real thing that motivated me to get into teaching.
I think I really like the idea of being able to help people to make a real difference to their life. I'd always worked in adult education, and typically people come into an adult education institute and it's a change of direction for them. And it really appealed to me being part of that transformative process.
Okay, thanks everyone. To finish with, we want to ask what single word or phrase you would use to sum up this period when you were trying to decide to teach, to take up this fantastic vocation. I'll take the lead, and I'd say I was conflicted and uncertain.
I was excited and nervous, probably in equal measures, actually.
I'd say I was excited, yes, but also absolutely determined that I knew that this was what I wanted to do and I was doing it.
So there you have it.